One Page Weekly with Nick Slavik. Float tank. Data plus feelings. In 1954, neuroscientist John Lilly invented the float tank to do experiments on consciousness. He wanted to see if the brain would shut off if deprived of external stimuli. His isolation tanks were much the same as modern versions. Warm water, no light, no sound. But he had originally put people in breathing masks and submerged them. His findings? Not only did the brain not shut off, it actually got more active, producing vivid internal experiences for the floater. Even more, some people reported hallucinations, deep introspections, and new feelings about time and space. Physically, people experienced profound relaxation and psychological calm. His experiments made a great argument that the brain is generative, not responsive to the world. These findings were subjective, but allow me to add to the scientific catalog with a data point of my own. My wife Toots and I did float tanks yesterday. Spending a day with her was my reward for the vast amount of prep and effort it took to create a day-long training session for everyone in my company. We arrived at the place, showered, received some instruction, then each entered a room pod of our own. There were some gentle water jets circulating the warm, salty water, and the lights in the tub were dim blue. Within a few minutes, the lights were off and the jets stopped. The room was black, and I actively worked on unclenching my shoulders and neck. My first sensory experience was the support of my body from the water. I had laid in the Great Salt Lake in Utah years ago and felt something similar, but with way more going on around me. In the tank, it felt like 1,000,000 points of support were perfectly and evenly holding me up. Not one point on my body experiencing more or less support. The water was the temperature of my body. I felt my right foot contact the side of the tub, then my left elbow. After a few minutes, I was suspended in the water, centered in the tub and feeling myself sink into sleep. I came back awake. Twice this happened. I've always been too hypervigilant to shut everything off and really nap, but I was deeply comfortable. I was absolutely present, but present thinking about what I was thinking about. Jokingly, I told my team that I'd probably just think about job costing in the float tank, and there was a bit of that. But what were my expectations? On the high side, would have been awesome to have an out-of-body psychological trip. Low side, I knew I would have an excuse to relax. What really happened was better and unexpected. I could not stop thinking about my wife, Toots. The deep gratitude I felt was different for me. I was happily stuck in the thought of how we met, pure kismet, and of how we married, bought a home, and started businesses together. She was the creation machine for our family, growing and giving life to our 4 children. I used my hands and mind as a freedom machine to create surplus time and money for our family organism, something that was not a given and that we created together. The things that had to happen to bring us to this time and this point, any of which could not have happened, were really affecting me. Instead of falling into a deep sleep or detaching from the present, I was filled with energy, but was relaxed and content. It was not a psychological experience of the chemical kind, but something else I had not expected, but did welcome. Deep conscious gratitude from my other half in this life. At one point, I did not know if my eyes were open or shut. I touched my eyelids with wet, salty fingers to make the determination. They were shut, and I was present for all of this. I found myself smiling in the salty, wet, dark, feeling the deepest gratitude for all of this. This has been One Page Weekly with Nick Slavik.